So, hi friends. Hello friends. So, it's really not natural for me to record myself speaking, so I apologise if I also keep looking at the camera area, and if I seem really awkward because I feel really awkward. But anyway, so this is a video that is from last year, which I've only just put together because I forgot about it. It's when me and Luke went interrailing last year. So we went to Gothenburg, Berlin, Amsterdam and Paris. So that is what I have put together. There's some bits that I wish that I'd filmed at the time, like going into the apartments and stuff like that. But you live and you learn. So yeah, here it is. Hello again, it's me, the floating voice. So we're in Gothenburg on the tram on the way to our apartment, which I said I didn't record. And then the next day we went to Bay, which is like an amusement park with rides and stuff like that. And then there's amusements like pinball and the gravity machines and stuff. And then the next day we went to Universium, which is like a science kind of thing, and there's some animals and stuff. I just really like these birds because they're really fun. Look at their beaks. We have some fish. I really like fish. For anybody who knows me will know I like fish. And then some big plants. I really like plants as well. This potentially is in the greenhouse. We went to like a park thing that had the greenhouses. And then we went for a walk to one of the parks. There was this really cool water fountain. No, not water fountain, waterfall. And then we hiked up to the top and had a look out over all of Gothenburg, which is pretty cool. And also very dangerous if you know me, because I am very clumsy. Here we have some miscellaneous bones. Probably should have made a note of what they were, but I think it's really cool anyway, so that's okay. That's a video. Look at this giant monstera plant, it's so beautiful. I'm so jealous because mine's all brown on the leaves.
Yeah, boy! Have you not seen this before?
You're horrendous.
Yeah, boy! It's my spirit animal.
What the fuck? Doing some journaling for the train in the evening at Wayne's Coffee, which is my favourite, and then we had some dinner before the train. And those things aren't actually dead mice, they are dumplings, I promise. And they were actually really delicious, even though they look a bit weird. So this is the night after we had to sleep in a hotel in Helsingborg for like 5 hours, because otherwise we would have had to sleep at the train station, which probably wasn't going to be the best idea. This was a really, really long journey. It was like 15 hours or something ridiculous. So we were really, really tired by the time we got to our place in Berlin, but hey, we're in Berlin, so who cares?
U-Bahnhof Naturkundemuseum.
These guys were just like hanging outside the photo booth, playing a little bit of music, and I thought they were really cool, so I tried to sneakily take a little video clip of them. I hate having these in there because they're not filmed landscape, but they're quite fun, and these little extra clips like add a little bit more story to it, so I'm gonna put them in anyway.
Some might say otherwise.
So this is in the Stasi prison, and if you do go to Berlin, you definitely need to go there, because it's so interesting.
Hard. So spicy.
I actually made Luke redo this so that I could film it, even though we'd already done the coin.
Spotted it. Go on. It's right on the edge there. Here we go. Why'd you pick the plate for? There's nothing there. Oh, everyone's here. Look at that little feet.
So here we have about 30 seconds of a hooded crow just wandering around because I really enjoy it. I really like seeing the hooded crows in Europe because we don't often see them in the UK. In fact, I don't actually think I've ever seen one in the UK. So yeah, enjoy lots of this bird just having a little wander. So this was somewhere in Museum Island, and that is like somewhere from Syria, and they've taken one of the rooms and put it into an exhibition, which I thought was really cool, but it was also really sad to see like the state that it used to be and how it is now. So this is the view of Berlin from the dome, which is what was in the clip before this. So that's looking out over Berlin. And then we had to do laundry because I think it was like a week and a half at this point. It's actually really confusing to try and work out how to use machines when they're in a different language. But we had fun with that. We did make friends with someone. So this is one of the many museums that we visited on Museum Island in Berlin. And I really like this statue. And then onto the Egyptian artifacts, which are my favourite. I really want to go to Egypt. Luke made me film him doing this because I filmed it just plain, and then he decided that he wanted to hide down there. Ridiculous. This is the night that we got really drunk. Well, Luke more than me. If you read the blog, you'll know that I had to arrange somehow to get us in a taxi on the way home because he was like throwing up in the toilet and embarrassing me. But it was funny anyway. Idiot. And then this is the day after Drunk Luke, where I had to clean the whole apartment by myself because he was still asleep from being hungover. And then he had to lay in the park all day while I went and looked in this church and had a look around Berlin on our last day, really. So he missed out on all this beauty, but I'm sure we'll go back, so it won't be too bad. Now we're on another really long train journey from Berlin to Amsterdam, which was overnight again, and it was ridiculous. There was nowhere to like lay down on the train or anything. And I think at this point we were already really tired, but at least Luke had like stopped being hungover. It really annoys me when Luke can sleep on the train because I just literally can't do it. But then we got to Amsterdam, we couldn't even get into our hotel for like 4 hours, so we had to sit in a cafe, really, really tired, and wait until we could eventually get into our hotel room. But this is the view from the hotel room, so it's not too bad. We went on these pedal boats on the canals in Amsterdam. We had to follow this route, but oh my god, it was so ridiculous. Like, my legs ached so much from pedaling. I think most of the time I was just resting my legs. This is my favourite clip because Luke is just ridiculous. We laughed about this for so long. It's coming up. Look at his face. He's just ridiculous. And we found a little bumblebee in this as well, like, so I just kind of held it until we got off from the water, and I thought I was going to have to get it like some fizzy drink or something, but it kind of just like, eventually I think it got its energy back. And then we went to the Gordon Parks exhibit at the Foam Gallery, which was really cool. I've been to the Foam Gallery every time I've been to Amsterdam, because they always have really good exhibitions. With our city card, we got a free canal boat cruise, like along the rivers, but which was pretty cool. Like, and they had this voiceover thing, so they told us what different landmarks were, where we were, and stuff like that. But I kind of think we saw more from the pedal boats than we did on this tour. But it was still a nice little extra thing to do, and we learnt some facts and stuff. So that's like a floating Chinese restaurant, which is really cool. And then the red light district. He was probably ridiculously tired at this point, but having fun with Snapchat all the time. It rained quite a lot in Amsterdam as well. These are our bulbs that we got at the Tulip Museum. We just had to wander around with them, which was ridiculous. And then this is the train on the way to Paris. Paris is my favourite, in case you can't tell. Every day that we were in Paris, we tried to go into Notre Dame and like go up the tower, but they had this stupid thing where you have to get into the queue on an app, but then it just kept messing up every time. So I think it was eventually the third day that we actually got to go up the tower. Ridiculous. And it also rained in Paris every day as well, and every time I've been to Paris it's literally tipped it down. which is fucking stupid because I want to see Paris in the sun. And now we have about 1,200 clips of me and some pigeons, because pigeons are my favourite, and I wish I didn't have like such a tourist here with like my 2 cameras, but this was so much fun. We had like seed that we bought from a guy that sells it, and then all the pigeons just come to you. And we thought he was taking a picture at this point, but he actually filmed us for like a minute. But it's quite fun, so I just left it in. And I really like the little white pigeon with the brown bits on it. They're really cute. I would just like to point out that the person laughing in this clip is not me. Even though it might sound like me, it's not.
Oh, that's a wet one.
We went to the Museum of Paleontology, which is on a little island kind of thing, and then it's got some other museums with it, but this one's so cool, it's just full of bones and articulated skeletons and stuff like that. And there's, I think there's some fossils of plants as well around the top bits. This is really cool to look at, and it's cool to take reference videos and photos if you like drawing and stuff like that. And it's actually really crazy to see how big some of the things are. Like if you've never seen, I don't know, a blue bear, like a giant bear or something, and you don't know how big they are, and then you see them up close and you actually realise like how massive they are. It's crazy. And then we went to visit the Paris Mosque, which was really cool. All of the mosaics are so detailed, and I did a little close-up of the mosaic because I think it's really pretty.
Yeah, but for people.
And then outside there's like a garden, which is really pretty too. And there's water fountains and things like that. It's just a really nice vibe in there. I liked it. And this is the view from our apartment. And just over there, not that you can see it now, but you can see the top of the Eiffel Tower at night, and it kind of spins its light. That was really cool. This is up the Tower of Notre Dame, so you can see like more pigeons. So you could see out all over Paris from the other side, because I've been to see it from Montmartre, but it's nice to see it from the other side. Yes, more pigeons. And then we went to the Louvre. We were only in there for about an hour because it wasn't the late night opening, and we got there quite late. But we did manage to see a couple of things, which was really cool. I saw the Venus de Milo and all the other statues and stuff. But next time I go to Paris, definitely want to go for longer because there's so much to see. Like, I don't think I realise how much art there is to see there. And then there's Napoleon's apartments, and I'd like to go and take more pictures in there. They were so fancy. I want those chairs. Train to the airport leaving Paris, which was so sad. But then we did get to see this little face. I want her to come with us next time.